Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sri Dairya Chaitanya Dilip Ji. Welcome to Malaysia through Zoom. Okay, I will just read out the write-up. Sri Dairya Chaitanya Dilip Ji was born and brought up in Palakkad, Kerala, South India. He is currently a teacher of Sanskrit and Vedanta. His professional qualifications is in engineering, in which field he worked for some time. However, after meeting Swamiji Sadananda Saraswati in 1994, he started to study Vedanta. Because of his thirst for this knowledge, he gave up all other pursuits except Vedanta. In 2003, he went to Rishikesh to study at the Swami Dayananda Ashramam under Acharya Swamiji Brahma Vidyananda. On completion of the course, he received Chaitanya Diksha initiation from Puja Swamiji Dayananda Saraswati. From then on, he has been teaching regularly various classes and camps. Currently, he resides in Kerala, South India, where he teaches Sanskrit and Vedanta classes.
Anything else to be said, Dilipji? Inga solungo.
Yeah, this is enough. Actually, we don't need a qualification to study or teach Vedanta. Still, it's a formality when you join together, to know somebody. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So now the class is yours, Dilipji. You can.
Yeah. Namaste, all of you. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loga Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhatarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beta Vibhagini Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukaro Anthakaro Vairukarastan Nivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvad Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste, all of you. We are going to discuss about a treatise written by Jagadguru Adi Shankara.
Quite louder. Can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah. Namaste, all of you. Is it okay now?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, it's clear now.
Yeah. Yes. So we are going to see a text written by Jagadguru Adi Shankara. What is the content of the text, and what will be the benefit of studying that text? Why Jagadguru Adi Shankara written this treatise and given a name called Bhaja Govindam or Moha Mudgaram? Directly, I am entering into the topic which we are going to deal. A treatise or a prakaranam. Indian tradition or our Indian scriptures, both are one and the same. All our culture, all our ceremonies, all our customs are based upon these scriptures only. The fundamental scriptures, what we called Vedas. We know that there are 4 Vedas: Rig, Yajur, Samam, and Atharva. The word Vedas comes from the Sanskrit root Vid, Jnani. There are something to know inside that scriptures. So that which has to be known by somebody who put effort and who has a commitment, this book has something to reveal. That's why it's called Vedas. Vedas, even though they are 4, basically they are into 2 sections. The first section talks about, among 4 human goals, the first section talks about the 3 human goals, what we call dharmam, artham, and kamam. And the second section, it talks about moksha. We should have a basic understanding about all these things, then only we can enter into a prakarana written by Adi Shankara. As Vinayaji told that there are some basic information for the people who have joined. So I am not giving a thorough introduction. Just I am slowly, we are landing to the prakarana. So the first section of the Vedas are also called Karma Kanda, which talks about various rituals, various pujas, various upasanas, various meditations. And it's almost 87% of the entire Veda, this Karma Kanda. So the rest of this section, what we called Jnana Kanda, is only almost 13% of the entire Vedas. Being various rituals, various meditations, various upasanas, various pujas, in an elaborated manner, the Karma Kanda reveals known and unknown things of the world, which is far beyond our eyes. Certain worlds are talked about. Certain things are talked about. So Karma Kanda reveals a lot of things. Why Karma Kanda is more bigger than Jnana Kanda? We need to understand all these things. Then only we can enter into the second section, which is our main topic. Vedas are also called Shruti Mata, a mother who nourishes or give life for the baby. Similarly, for the survival of each and every living being in this world, for the existence of each and every created things in the world, Veda gives a detailed way of living in this creation, an elaborated way how to live a life. Each and every human being, especially because other than human beings, nobody is going to enter into Vedas. So we are the caretakers of this entire creation. And one should know how to live a proper life without harming this creation. By living a life, how can one can achieve what we call punya, which will help a person to receive a conducive situation in future. The proper way of living the life without hurting or harming anybody. Remembering the people who supported us for our survival, not only as a consumer, but also as a donor, how to live in this world, Veda teaches. That's why Karma Kanda become more important, and this first Purushartha or human goal, Dharma, to live an ethical and moral life without hurting or harming anybody, and also achieve the happiness in a proper way. That's why Veda gives more importance for the first human goal called Dharma. By living a proper life, one should achieve their necessities as well as so-called luxurious things. Dharma can only bring a proper happiness also. You may achieve certain things in a crooked way, but the happiness will not be there, even though after achieving, the person will be totally dry. That's why human goal, Dharma, is being kept in front of a person to live a proper life in this world. Remembering the all living beings also living along with me. In a city having a huge traffic, there will be certain rules. This path is one way. This path is only for the small vehicles. This path is for the large vehicles. Lot of traffic rules are being ordered. For what? To reach the destination properly without having some accidents or without having any mishappenings in one's life. Everybody should reach safely to their goal without having any kinds of issue. That's why traffic rules are meant for. Similarly, after getting a human birth, one should reach safely to the respected goal. That's why, like the traffic rules in our city help us to go or reach home safely. Similarly, the rules ordained by the Vedas, what we call do's and don'ts, will help us to reach our goal safely without missing our happiness too. That's why Dharma is more important, and it's been presented in the first portion, the first human goal. Dharati iti dharma, one should wear like a shirt or a pants or a dhoti or a sari. That's why dhr become dharma. Dhr, to wear, from that root only dharma comes. So one should own that, One should do that. Without acting upon it, you cannot deliver to others also, you cannot make it survive also. That's why Dharma is the first human goal and which is presented in the Karma Kanda. I am briefing everything. I'm not going to be. Dharma is a big topic which can run into pages and pages. If you want to talk about Dharma, it will go. But keeping our goal, which is our Bhaja Govindam, I am just briefing without having a small introduction about the first portion of the Vedas. It's not a good manner to directly do Vedanta. Just we have to respect the Vedas and its human codes. The first goal, Dharma, will help the person to receive their respected happiness. Whatever they want in their life, it will be accomplished by the person by doing Dharma. All are meant in the form of actions. Dharmas are like traffic rules are being ordained by a person who is in charge of the city. Similarly, Vedas have composed these things you have to do daily, nitya karma. These things you don't do in your life, pratishidha karma. These things you do if you have certain things in your mind, if you have a desire, kamya karma. And if you have done something wrong and you are feeling guilty on the things what you have done knowingly or unknowingly, neutralize that through prayashchitta karma. And also occasional rituals you have to do for your forefathers and the people who are belonging in your lineage who have departed from this world. Naimittika karma, or the person who has got a new birth or some new baby is born in your family. There are some rituals, there are some functions which you cannot give up. Naimittika karma, occasional rituals, a marriage, a birth, certain rituals. All these things will fall mostly in dharma, our first human goal. I will list the 5 types of actions which are listed in the first portion of Vedas. Nitya karmam, naimittika karmam, kamya karmam, pratishidha karmam, prayashchitta karmam. Kamya karmam will fall under artha or kama. What is mean by kamya karma? A person has certain desire in the mind. If you can fulfill that desire, a person will be free to look upon bigger things in the life, which is told in the second portion of Vedas. A restless mind is not possible even to cook a small dish, completely out of focus. How we are going to live a life, keeping some pressure towards certain things in your life. You have to do certain things in your day-to-day life, and something is there hooked in your mind and it's pulling back. That's why kamya karma, certain rituals, certain meditations, certain pujas are enjoined by the Vedas in order to achieve the desirable things in one's life. That's why if you look into the Puranas, even the demons or asuras also accomplished their desirable things because Veda promised, if you do this ritual, you will get this. If you do this meditation, if you do this tapas, you will achieve this. Regardless of the personality, regardless of the caste, regardless of the religion, if you do it properly, you are going to achieve this thing in your life. It's very important. You do it in the perfect manner listed by the Vedas. How much bricks, What are the ingredients by whom you should do this ritual? All these things are listed by the Vedas. And you do it properly with a qualified person told by the Vedas. And you achieve the thing. That's why Putra Kameshti Yagam is there. Who is missing their progeny in their life after marriage, and they want to get a baby, and some papa is being there, and they don't get this baby. And Veda talks about a particular ritual called Putra Kameshti. You achieve your kid, your baby, by doing this particular ritual, Putra Kameshti Yaga. And also it talks about other Kamya karmas also. Suppose a place is lacking with the rain, and that place have a lot of farmers, and they are in very much grief and suffering. And you need some rain on that particular place, because depending upon the grains, a nation survives. So you need some rain. There is a ritual for the rain to come in a particular place. Kariri Yagam. A ritual called Kariri. It's all Kamya Karma. A desirable thing is accomplished by a personality. There are other examples also. Jyotishta Homam. A person have a keen desire to go to heaven. Veda talks about a particular ritual to go to heaven. So, Jyotishta Homam, if you do, according to the instructions given by the Vedas, and you will reach in heaven. Because Vedas are promising something which will not be falsified. This is the first scripture to talk about even about heaven, From our scriptures only, it is being passed through different religions. There is a place called heaven. So, Dharma will help the person to get the conducive situations in one's life. The Kamya Karmas will help the person to achieve certain things in one's life. Ananto vai kamaha. Desires are endless. This is a statement from Vedas. And each and every living being has different desires. What I like may not be liked by you. An elephant likes certain things to eat, which I will not prefer in my dinner plate. We are different from each other by our lifestyle, by our food, by our ambitions, When we have all kinds of these adversities, in order to collect together all these living beings together, Veda should fulfill each and everybody's desire. Every human being has a different desire. Those who have babies, they want money, wealth. Those who have wealth may be lacking with the babies. Somebody will be having a crave for getting married life. Somebody is interested to make their business more elaborated. So each and every living being, human beings, are having different desires in their life. In order to make them fulfill all these people's desire, Veda talks about different rituals, different types of pujas. That's why It has 87% of Karma Kanda portion in one but Vedas. Majority of the Vedas talking about rituals and meditation, everything, because it wants to account all everybody's desire and everybody's issues. Vedas also talks about various things like how to purify the place, how to neutralize the Brahmahatya. These are all neutralizing actions, which I told you. A person may desire to do some rituals in a particular place and you have to purify that place. Then you do certain pujas, neutralizing the actions which have done on that place, Similarly, neutralizing actions also, the kamya karmas also there. So you achieve certain desirable things in your life, which we called the second human goal, artha. You achieve certain things in your life by doing a particular ritual, and this thing is called artham, and you enjoy and you get some happiness, kama. You enjoy a particular thing and you get the happiness. And really speaking, people are behind these two human goals only, artham and kama. Normally, entire world, artha and kama. We call these four human goals in one single name, Purushartham. Chaturvitha Purushartha. And Artha and Kama are the main goals even the animals pursue. Everybody wants to achieve certain things and to enjoy. And they are happy and they achieve certain things. But most of the people are not informed by the first human goal called dharma. So, in order to achieve the artha and kama, they miss the way to achieve dharma because they are not informed somehow. When the time passes, it is told our culture get deteriorated, and again it will be uplifted by the Lord. Yatha yatha hi dharmasya glarir bhavati bharata. It's been told even by Krishna. After a period of time, our culture will not be followed by the majority and it will be slowly vanishing. And people will become more selfish and self-centered and greedy. So they are only keeping their happiness inside their mind. For example, even though we have provided whatever vegetables we want to eat in our life, still we want to kill something and to eat, a pressure. They also having a normal life in they also deserve to live in this entire creation. We just forget our common sense. If I cut my hand, I will have a pain. I'm cutting the throat of an animal in order to make my family happy. I just ignore that suffering, because there is no information regarding dharma in one's life. That's why artha kama is being followed by the majority without considering the first human goal. Anyway, by pursuing the artha kama in one's life without considering the dharma, the result will be the person will go through this death and birth cycle, what we call samsara. Today, a person slaughtered a god. That person will be getting a birth to get slaughtered like a god. It may take a rebirth of a god because his papa, a set of action, brought a life in order to know what suffering he has given to this world or an animal. So only pursuing artha and kama, just saving the money and enjoying with the children and the husband and my auntie and my uncle and my car and my family, nothing is going to be helpful in one's life. Getting a 60-year life span in this world, and you are performing, you are doing certain job, and you achieve an amount, and you live a life. And if you look at the age of 60, turn back on the 70, you feel empty, because only artha and kama only you have pursued. The inner leisure will not be there. I have done some dharma for this world. I have pursued certain sadhanas in my life, apart from my busy life. So majority, I'm talking about the majority, not about the spiritual aspirants or sadhakas or sadhagis who are deliberately following the spiritual path. I'm talking the majority of the people are centered on these two human goals, what we call artha and kama. Achieve a thing and happily enjoy that thing. How you achieved is not a problem. Only thing is that you have to achieve somehow. This artha kama will make a person to go again and again through the circle of samsara. And there are 84 lakhs of living beings in this entire samsara. So another secret told in the Vedas and Puranas. 84 lakhs of living beings are there in this samsara. This is not a creation of 84 lakhs of living beings. When you do a papa means a misaction, which is not to be done, you've done in your life, knowingly or unknowingly. You stepped on an ant, or you stolen somebody from somebody's wallet, some money from. Like this, if you have done something knowingly or unknowingly, it will attract a undesirable situation in one's life. It may be in this life or in the next life. We call it in tradition papa, an undesirable situation which you don't want in your life. So according to the papa, what one has done in the life, there will be a particular life form for them waiting. That action will reward them. That action will make them to take a birth. For example, in Brahma Vaivartha Puranam and also in Garuda Puranam, it is told, suppose if you cheat a Kanya, giving some promises that I will marry you, and at last certain things happened and you give up that Kanya, those type of persons will take a birth of chameleon. It is told in Garuda Puranam and also in Padma Puranam. Puranas describe about the results of Papa Karma, certain Puranas, Just I gave an example. So, in the pressure of achieving the artha and kama, we don't consider what others think or what happened to others, I just want to reach my office in the 10 o'clock. So I may be stepping on the hand. I may don't consider the person who is nearby. I don't have the eyes to see the whole nature. I want to help this dog who is hit by a truck, but I have to be in the right time to the office, God has given a chance to acquire punya in one's life, but we miss because of our pressure and because of our lifestyle made us to do like that, And we will justify with certain statements of Bhagavad Gita, Swadharme Nithanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. I have my Swadharma. Why should I take a dog to hospital? Justifying my actions through Purana. Few people do that, They do one of the worst things in their life and they quote some Purana statements to justify what they have done is according to the Purana and according to the Vedas. Utterly false, Don't think that whatever we do and keep some statements of Puranas and Vedas told like this. No, you don't grab them or you don't pick up them to justify your deeds. First, you study 12 years under a teacher. Then only you are supposed to ready to talk about Vedas and Vedantas or what is Dharma. Up to that, we are all ignorance. Really, we are all ignorant people. So, I will come to the point. The cycle of death and birth will go around from one birth to another birth. Lot of pain, lot of sufferings are involved. Not an easy thing to go from one birth to another birth. The more inferior you are, the more sufferings. A dog should run always wandering for food. There is no cultural way of achieving some food in a proper way. And you have to eat. Suppose we have for example, suppose we got a dog's body. We are not supposed to, if a street dog, we are not supposed to be in front of a public or in a shelter. They will throw stones because it's a street dog. It has its own suffering. Even though there are a lot of emotions for them, nobody is going to understand that. The more we get the inferior births, more we have the sufferings and pain in one's life. So what about the superior births like Devas, having a luxurious being Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Bijayate, like that, Prapya Punya Kritan Logan. What about the superior life? Still you have to come back. Wherever there is punya enjoyment, you have to return and you have to be ready for suffering the papa. A coin's two sides there. If you have punya, you should be ready for the papa also. So, even if you get a superior birth, it's only for a period of time like a visa. After that, you have to return back and you have to take the turn of papa. The table will completely turn and the person who enjoyed is right now a street dog or another inferior living being. So 84 lakhs of living beings, even though it is mentioned in Puranas and Vedas, only 40 lakhs of living beings are being identified in this world. in this universe right now, what we are having with our informations. Oh, more 40 lakhs of living beings are there somewhere in this universe. Maybe in the Pitarloka, maybe in the Devaloka, maybe in heaven. But they are all fall under one single word called samsara. It's a samsaric way of living. You just center your emotions and your target only artha and kama. We call them materialist. A person who is totally centered on one single job and achieve money and enjoy the world, and one day you depart from this world without having any information regarding what should a human being do? What is the goal of a human being? For what purpose we got this birth? Is there any particular way to live in this world to reach the human goal? Without having any kind of information like this, just we live a life only centered on artha and kama. We go through this samsaric life. So the first portion of Veda really promoting your samsara cycle. If you deeply think about Veda's doing, it don't tell you to stop desiring the things what are the things in front of you. It just promote your inferior status, you know. You like a toy, and Veda just tells you, if you do this ritual, you will achieve this toy. Veda didn't tell that after enjoying this toy after 2 days, it will break or it will give some other vasanas. And these vasanas will be taking you to this through this samsara cycle. Veda don't tell. The first portion of Vedas, I mean, Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda really promotes your small buddhi. You want certain things and Veda promotes it. Why Veda is misguiding? The point arises there. You know, really speaking, Shruti Mada don't want to misguide you. And she is not interested to make you always inferior in status. If you are fulfilled partially, you can focus on certain things which are presented in the last portion of Vedas. A mind which is settled, which is calm, which is peace, can focus something greater things told in the last portion. That's the only intention Shruti Mada has. That's why Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarishava. Poise in action. The more pure your actions are, your achievements will be proper, you know. So Veda talks about certain things to settle your mind so that a settled mind can focus on something greater things what is told in the last portion. That's the only intention Shruti Mata having. And people used to do and they enjoy and they will go for more and more things because vasanas are there, the impressions are there. And again, they will approach Vedas and do certain things what is told only for certain small things. You know, glorious means and you will achieve pity ends. The pujas and meditations and rituals, if you done in a proper attitude, that will take you to the one of the best goal, what we call moksha, the second portion, which I am going to discuss or continue in the next session. More few things I will tell and I will wind up this section. I have to be 5:55 in the puja of our ashram puja. So More few things I want to tell. So Artha and Kama are also presented by the Vedas, but having a different intention. Not to center all your life for Artha and Kama, like a crow. Crows also will have a partner, make some babies, make some nest. Again, after 6 months, they will again make another nest. They are also having food, shelter, and this aharam, nidra, bhakshanam, vastram, parpadam, nidra, maithunam. Food, bhakshanam, vastram, clothes, parpadam, shelter, nidra, having a good sleep, maithunam, mating in the particular time, So all these 5 things are meant for samsaric world and go around the cycle of death and birth. We are not meant for that. Human being is blessed with the 2 things, which we are going to see in the next session. What we call the main thing, the 2 things which make a human being differ from the other living being, and these 2 capacities made him to rule this world. So we have a particular goal, and to achieve this goal, we are blessed with 2 main capacities, 2 qualities. That's called Swechaya Karma Prerana, a free will. And also Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, what is to be done and what is not to be done. We will not behave like a crow or like a dog. If you put some food in a plate for few dogs, the more stronger will take the food first. There will be no emotion for that. It's my mother. Mother should eat first. After that, I will eat. No. The more stronger will take the food. There is no rule or moral values between dogs or any other animal. But as a human being, I have viveka. Some food I am having, I will give to my mother or my kids or my wife. Then only I will take, There is a viveka. So we are going to discuss about that. The human being is blessed by 2 qualities, and to achieve this particular goal, even though fulfilling the artha and the kama, the both qualities are nitya, anitya vastu vivekaha. That discrimination, what is right and wrong, and also the free will. A lion cannot stop eating non-vegan food. A cow cannot start to eat meat. But a person, a human being, I'm from Kerala, we have a particular temple called Shabarimala. Most of the people in Kerala eat meat, egg, fish, etc. because it's also a coastal state, But once they put the mala to go to Shabarimala, and 41 days, they will go through heavy ritualistic life, Sleep in the mat, eat only vegan food, just to stop. The willpower of a human being is being proved every year. Just for 41 days, the second 42 days after taking up the mala, they will start the same food. That's where the willpower will go down, So what I'm telling, I'm talking about this will and the discrimination, which are the only 2 qualifications made human being to rule this world. There is no other thing made him to rule and dominate this world. These 2 things only is going to help the person to reach the human goal also. I will stop now. We are going to talk more about this, and within 1 or 2 classes, we are landing to the Bhaja Govinda. Okay. Just we have a brief introduction only. We will continue in the next class. Now I will go to my temple. 6 o'clock, 5:55 I should be there. So up to you, Vinayaji, now, please.
Okay, Dilipji, if you want to go to temple, you want to start a bit earlier?
Yeah, 5:55 I should. 5:55 I should.
5:50?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, 4:45 for your time.
Yeah, now it's the time almost here 5:52 it shows. What's the time now?
Now here is 8:20.
8:20. Okay. So next Saturday also, as long as I am in Rishikesh, I will stop bit 5 minutes more or something like that. Okay. And also, if you have any questions or doubts, please Vinayaji collect and you please forward me through WhatsApp. Then I am going to answer also. Okay.
கிருஷ்ணா அதுதானே ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. கொஸ்டின் கிடைக்கிறதே கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. நானே கொஸ்டின் போட்டாதான். Okay, anyway.
They will ask those who have listened to the topic. They will have some questions, and you please receive their questions and put me in WhatsApp, and I will give the answer in the coming sections. Okay.
Okay. So do you want me to start the class next week early?
It will be nice if you can start a little bit more early. So 4:45 to 5:45, it's okay now for the if you can. Okay.
Then I'll change the time here. I'll talk to them and then we'll have it like that.
Okay. Now we will wind up. I will just pray the mandrasa. Swasti prajabhya paripalayandam nyayena margena mahim mahishah kubrahmanebhya shupamastu nityam loka samastha sukhino bhavantu kale varshadu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini deshoyam kshoparahitah brahmana santu narbhayah sarve bhavantu sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So see all of you in the next week. Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari